Welcome to Conversations with Nurses, a podcast where we chat with nurses from all walks of life. I'm Paula-Holland. Join me as I take you into an inside look into the nursing profession, where we explore the human side of healthcare and gain insight into the dedication and compassion that drive nurses to care for others. So grab your headphones and come along for the ride as we dive on Conversations with Nurses. We're talking to Hayli Hooper, who is a nurse in training. How's it going?
It's been interesting, and this year's been quite full on. There's a lot of pressure this year. It's the last final jaunt.
So you're in semester 5 at Edith Cowan?
Yes. So I'm still working part-time and then I'm studying full-time, and I believe I graduate around December. So,
Good.
yeah, I can't wait. So nearly there.
And what plans do you have after that?
Oh, I really want to take some time off. It's been a long time since I travelled. And then I would my family's from South Africa, so I'd like to go and do some Doctors Without Borders or travel.
Fantastic.
I didn't realise how expensive some of those programs are. So I'm trying to find a charity kind of way to do that. And then when I come back, I would like to set up my clinic as an injectables clinic and then do a couple of days ED or acute setting.
So you've got a plan. Obviously, you've been nursing for quite a while though.
Yeah, and coming up to my 3rd year, I think, as an EN.
Just what led you into nursing? Just tell me the story.
So
what happened?
My grandmother was a nurse in the, like the 40s, 50s, 60s sort of thing. And she's an avid traveller as well, and that's a big passion of mine. And so when COVID happened and we couldn't go anywhere and we were stuck in Perth, I know that I needed to do something, and nurses, I believe, can get a visa in any country at any age to work because you're always a skilled necessity.
Yep.
And that was a big driving. And then once I've started, I've found out all the other avenues it goes down.
Yep.
And I just think it's a good job if I'm a kind of person that's got a lot of fingers and a lot of pies, but if I ever needed something desperately and I needed to work, I will always be able to get work.
Are you finding, though, once you started, does it match the ideal of what you thought it would be?
Yes and no. I find it frustrating, limiting, because nurses learn so much but legally can do so little. I think they're so heavily relied on, but really at the end of the day, when something needs to happen, you still need to turn around and get a doctor,
yep.
Even though we probably already know what's going on. But then it also is exciting, and there is the adrenaline of it, and there is the fast-paced and the different avenues. Wasn't aware of how badly it can pay, and the hours and the patient ratios and stuff. Yeah, so a mixed bag, yeah. It's been very interesting. It's kept my attention.
Is nursing what you thought it would be? Usually nurses are portrayed in romance novels and male fantasies, but in reality, cleaning under fingernails and bed bath or washing soiled people. How are you finding that?
I find it hilarious because I'm 36 and I'm single, and nearly every single time on a dating app when I've said I'm a nurse, guys are like, oh, I can't wait to see you in your nurse's outfit. I was like, they're potato sacks, like they're scrubs. Like there's a few viral videos or reels of nurses coming home and doing the ideals of reality versus what people fantasize. Yeah. It's nothing. You're covered in poo, or, you've got like candy wrappers and, glucose pens and all in your pockets, and you're tired, you haven't eaten, your feet are sore. Like the last thing you have any empathy for anyone around you that's sick. Yeah, it's definitely not the same.
We don't fulfill those male fantasies, do we?
It's total lies. Yeah.
That's right.
Total. Yeah, definitely.
You don't know what I've been through.
Oh, I'm so desensitized to poo. Like, it's not even funny.
Do you find that people actually ask you about your job? People have said to me, how are you going? But they never actually say, how was your day? What did you do at work today? Or what did you see? Do you find that we don't get the deeper questions, or where we can really say, oh my God, this is what happened?
Well, it's interesting. I've got only maybe 2 or 3 other actual friends that are nurses, and yes, but then you're at a party or something, and all the other people, you start to say a story and they're like, oh, yuck, oh no, and they just don't want to know any further. It's interesting because I actually saw a fireman for a while, and he said one of the most frustrating things was he never was able to talk about his day because it would scare people or it would put them off. And I was like, give it to me. I love that stuff. That's what I feel like as well. So
it's the empathy for people, what they do doesn't matter what, but you recognise or respect.
Yeah, well, it's just
their job.
The situations you get put in that are just so unrealistic and people can't grasp that. And it somewhat desensitizes you, but you don't have anyone to like talk to about that because no one can really handle it. So
my son was saying that he grew up with me talking gory shit over the dinner table. You know, it sort of made sense to him. He really loved it. But, you know, the girls would put their hands over their ears, go, no, Mum, stop it. No.
See, I'm a bit like a boy. I love that story. Like when the fireman, I was like, give me all your stories. Yeah, I love it.
Right. So you were talking about being an enrolled nurse. Prior to that, you must have had a career before this because you're 36, you said.
Yeah, so, gosh, I could tell you I've had a million careers. So I have a bit of a problem with attention span. I need to do something all the time. I need to be actively engaged. And so I started like a lot of FIFO waitressing, bar work, all that sort of stuff. During COVID, I also did some utilities and shutdown work. I've worked for Commonwealth Bank, retail. There was a period there in my 20s where I literally had, you know, a new job every 3 to 6 months because I would just get bored. There was nothing stimulating me. I tried to attempt uni degrees when I was in my 20s and I just couldn't stick it through. I went through careers of trying to go down the acting path. I travelled. I've done the world many times in a row. So, yeah, I probably didn't come into my focus until my 30s.
All of those jobs would have led you to this. You might not realise it, but just filling in time until you find your groove, so to speak.
I think it benefited 100% in versatility of people that you encounter. I can adapt to a white collar, to the social economic levels. I can meet someone from all walks of life and be able to relate or have a conversation with them and be down to earth.
Exactly.
So it definitely helped in that regard. It helped me be outgoing. There's a lot of nurses I know that, well, in school you see them quite shy and they don't want to speak up or they can't think quick in a situation, whereas I feel like that kind of...
You got a bit out there. That's right. I always think you can learn the bookwork, but actually hold a man's penis and put a catheter in them like I've had to do at Shenton Park, where you line them up every 4 hours.
It's not even so much that. I remember this is so funny. My last prac I was in ortho-surg, and obviously post-surgery a lot of them have them. And I found the funny one because I wasn't putting it in, but this guy was quite intelligent. He was all with it and stuff. And it's what you do in that moment to avoid eye contact. Like he won't look at you. You don't really want to look at him. You're looking at his penis and you're like, it's just a real awkward moment that you're all trying to handle professionally. And it's so funny in hindsight. Yeah.
But, you know, after a while it becomes second nature, doesn't it? They're more embarrassed than we become. When you were saying that you're underpaid and you've got a lot of shit to do.
Like at 36 years old, I have 2 mortgages. I'm paying an extra at the moment, $300 per week with the interest rate hikes. And then I, in a month, have to go work for free for a month. And like, how are you meant to do that? How are you meant to get ahead? There's not even a break on the HECS debt, not even a tax break on generalising while you're studying, nothing. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. But do you regret it?
I don't regret it, and I'm so close to the end that I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm very grateful. I'll be the first person in my immediate family that's finished university, so I definitely don't regret it. However, it would have been nice to be more informed of the reality of this pathway before I took it. Yeah.
I was studying at uni and ran a fish and chip shop after hours with my husband and had 3 children in high school.
That's crazy.
The youngest in primary. But you do it. It's the hardest years plus the grad year. So I did it in 4 plus a grad year, 5 years. Hardest 5 years.
Yeah.
But actually the best fun I've ever had.
Yeah?
Uni was a lot of fun.
So did you go, were you an on-campus student?
See, what happened, I was a hospital trained nurse.
Yeah.
So I worked on the wards for 20 years. So when I went to uni, there was a lot of study and assignments and stuff that I had never done. But the practical side, I just walked in like a mouse in a mousetrap. It was just easy. I just knew where to go. It was instinctual in me. Whereas a lot of the young, just the first time onto a ward, it would be, oh my God, the bell's ringing. That means I have to talk to someone. God, what if they want to go to the toilet? What do I do? You know, to me it was easy.
Yeah.
So I loved uni. It was very relaxed, but it was hard managing.
Yes.
The family and the business and the after-hours study, and I wouldn't even open my books till 11 o'clock at night once I'm hung all the washing out, just do some study before I went to bed, and then I'd be up again at 6 to start again. But you do it, just have that ability to carry the load.
Yeah, it's definitely a very tough balance. And I find you just adapt. At the end of the day, no one's going to come out. You're not going to rock up to work at a hospital and they go, all right, well, how many distinctions did you get? Did you pass or fail is all that matters.
No, they don't care. That's right.
Yeah. So I cut out all the fluff and I just go straight to the assignments and I smash it out. I get it done.
Yeah.
End of the day, you're going to relearn 90% of that as you do it. No, I think that's definitely, I mean, graduating high school and you know how they put so much pressure on the year 12 and the tests and stuff. No one ever asked me about that ever again. So it teaches me. So when you go to uni, you either got the degree or you didn't.
Yep.
Just get it done and then get out there and just learn it.
Look, I've always said that I've never used trigonometry in my nursing career.
Bunsen burners, you know, calculus, unless you're going to be an astrophysicist or something, don't care.
Right. I agree. Do you find that people ask you health advice 24/7?
Oh, like that is one of the funniest things. I think I was like 4 or 5 weeks in and I got this message on Facebook and they're like, can you come over and change my wounds? Or they'd rattle off a condition and they just look at you with this look that they expected that you'd know it. And when I first started studying, I just put on the fake confidence and be like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah. But then I'd be like, I don't know every condition that's under there. But then I suddenly know this about you now. So I'd be like, I'll go home, Google it and be like, oh, wow, well, Fred, look what you've got. Do you know what, though? I will say on the other side of that, now that I'm nearly finished, I do find it interesting when I have health issues and then I ask them for the reports and I definitely can interpret them a lot better.
Absolutely.
And it makes me know my own health a lot better and it makes it a bit more interesting and it puts that health professional a little bit held more accountable to. So it is very interesting on the other side of it. But, yeah, I find it at parties all the time or on social media I'll get messages and someone sent me pictures of their kid's rash and I was like, I don't know, it's a kid, take it to hospital.
Yeah, I have this stock standard answer for the Friday night in the pub. It's, I'm off duty now, sorry.
Yeah.
Or you can't afford my rates after hours. This is weekend rates now, mate.
Yeah, you know. Mental. Yeah. I was like, sorry, no, don't. Good luck with your rash though.
So where have you been on your prac placements?
So with Ian, we started care for quite a few weeks, palliative care. And then I believe we went to subacute, which was rehab, so amputees and stuff. And then from there, I think it was GPs, which was immunisations and transfusions and things. And then my last one was Hollywood's orthosurge, which was pretty good because I was doing a lot of life surgeries. Sorry, Rockingham Day surgery, which was all right, which was more interesting. And then this coming one is children, paediatrics. And then the last one, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I've applied for international placements.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's a thing now. We never had that.
But I don't know how it works. So it's meant to be a 6-week placement in Australia, but I believe it's shorter overseas. But I've applied for either India, Nepal, Vietnam, Cambodia, or Tonga, which I don't really want Tonga, but yeah.
You don't really want Tonga.
No.
Why did you apply for it?
Oh, no, well, that was, you had to rank them from like 1 to 6 of what they were. So I'm hoping for either Nepal, which would be my favourite, or like Vietnam or Cambodia, or, Philippines. That was one of my favourites. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be cool. Go on a holiday straight after, I'd be sick.
Or you might just want to get out of there.
Yeah,
so I've had enough.
Yeah. Well, I can't imagine we're going to end up in great areas. It's going to be where they're going to really need you, but it'll be interesting. I have a huge fascination with, I believe Australia has the highest regarded medical qualifications. I was very interested to know as an EM, I can actually go to the UK and be a paramedic, which is completely odd because you can't do that here. So if I as an RN, you can work anywhere in the world and you're somewhat in that line, you do a lot more than you'd be allowed to do here and you just get so much more experience. So I really have an interest in getting hands-on in like third world places and then coming back and doing it.
Yeah, and bringing your knowledge back and educating other people about it.
Yeah.
And the Doctors Without Borders, I always think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I would love to.
Or there's a Mercy ship as well. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, so when I was 9, I got an operation by Fred Hollows and he used to do all the Africa stuff. And that fascinates me. I would definitely like to do that, yeah. My cousin actually was a medic in Iran in the wars and stuff and conflict.
So was there anything that was quite gross or sad in your placement? You know, is there a placement that you had that you just saw something that grossed you out?
I got 2 good stories here. I'll start with a gross one before the sad one. The subacute placement was